Before I get into what I want to show you, do you know that you are the chosen people? That as a black man, as a black woman on the surface of this earth, you are closer to divinity than you think of. So all those lies that they have created, that the devil is black, so if you're black, you're bad, those are lies. Those are lies to keep themselves in power, to keep on living the supremacy they created. If you're a black man, you are loved by God more than you think. You are closer to God more than you think.
To archaeology now, where Mesha Stele, also called the Moabite stone, has finally been verified by researchers, at least to a considerable degree of certainty, that it does indeed contain an explicit reference to King David. To discuss, we're joined by Israeli tour guide Anat Harel. Anat, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Can you tell us first about the Moabite stone and what it refers to in regards to King David?
Well, so in archaeology, we only have two references, two evidences of the existence of King David. The first one is this Moabite stone that was found in the 19th century, and it was discovered by an archaeologist, and as soon as he discovered it, he made an impression of it with some paper. After that, the locals broke it into pieces, thinking that they would get a lot more money by selling it on the black market in pieces as opposed to in one piece. And eventually these pieces all came together, and it's now sitting in France in the Louvre. Now, what's amazing about this rock that was found in Moab, which is on the other side of the Jordan River, is that it has a mention. It was written by the king of Moab, one of the kings of Moab, and it mentions the fact that he went to war against Israel, against one of the descendants of the house of David. And that is also written on a different stone that was found in Tel Dan in the 1990s, another mention from the kingdom of Aram Damascus, that the king of Aram Damascus went to war against one of the descendants of the house of David. And so these two mentions of the house of David are the only instances that we have that we can take archaeology and the story of the Jewish people and the story of King David and match them. These two have to do with the 9th century BCE, not the 10th century when David lived, but with his dynasty. I think it's several of his grandsons afterwards, about 100 years after he supposedly lived.
So, Anat, can you just clarify what is new here? Like you said, the stone's been sitting in the Louvre in Paris since it was discovered in 1868. So what's happened now?
So at first they deciphered it, and they realized that it probably said so-and-so fought against so-and-so of the house of David. But it wasn't very, very certain. There were scholars who said no, scholars said yes. What happened in the last 5 or 6 years is that there's some kind of a new technology that they used, and with this new technology, they re-verified the actual inscription and are more certain than ever that it actually says the house of David. And that's the new part, is that they have now verified the original inscription.
But looking at the stone, the letters look quite similar to Hebrew, don't they?
Yes, the language of the Moabites and the language of the Hebrews was quite similar, probably the same kind of dialect. They did understand each other, yes.
And why is King David so important in the history of this land?
Oh, King David was the most important king of all right? If you think of a king that is the most important one, it was King David.
The world was recently made aware that blacks, natives, Latinos are the real biblical Israelites. Now I think that there are verses there. We go check Jeremiah 17 verse 4, Luke 21 verse 24, and Daniel 12 verse 4. These passages of the Bible speaks a lot. You can check it out if you're Christian. You can check it out and read. Right? Now I think We shouldn't be in the denial that these things were real. Before they could build a lie, they needed the truth to build a lie on. You can't just lie just like that. There is a truth that existed before the lie was built on. And the reason why that lie was created was because they want to keep manipulating. They want to manipulate things. Because they want to be in power. They want to know that if we don't do something like this, these people will come and get over us. There are discoveries every day. The Creator keep giving us evidence. Yes, these things were there. We are the ones. But because they want to push us off, they go created an artificial Israelites. And that is why they deliberately created that canal to divide us, to separate us, and reduce the shape, the map of Africa. These are deliberate actions. They didn't need people to use as slaves. They didn't need people to come build homes and mansions for them. These are things that were done by people that sat behind closed doors and made agreements to turn everything upside down, to confuse us the more so that we don't even believe in the existence of what really existed. It's a plan and it was perfect. It was up here. I think I'm going to bring that up. Just check this.
Your question, alright? Let's look at this, their journey first, okay? When they left Ramses in Egypt, right? When they left Ramses in Egypt, okay? When they left there, they dwell in where? In Sukkot. This is the first place they first dwell when they left Ramses in Egypt, right? They dwell in this location here. This is the Nile River. They cross over there. Look at the Nile River there, close to them over there, right? This is the Nile River they cross. Okay, so from them they also dwell in Mara. You have to watch that show. So I'm just trying to show you how where their journey, right, and where they get the 10 commandments, where the 10 commandment was issued to them, right? So when they dwell in Mara at the edge of the wilderness, and they also dwell in what? In Etim, in Ta'at. Let's look at Ta'at. This is Mountain Ta'at. So they dwell in Ta'at. From thence they go straight to their great grandfather house, land of Tira, right? Let's look at this. This is the land of Tira, right? So they were about to go to the south. Okay, they were about to go to the south, right? So let's read this. In Numbers 13:3, and Moses by the commandment of the Most High sent them from the wilderness of Paran. All those men were ahead of the children of Jacob, right? From the wilderness of what? Paran. Where is Paran? Let's look at this one. Where is Paran over here? See this? This is Paran. Okay, Haran, Paran, the same place, alright? This is where they dwell. Okay, so let's look at the old new map. Where is Paran? Let's look at the new map. Okay, showing something, this location. So showing us something about here. Right? So showing us somewhere here. Right, so this is Haran. You see this? This is Haran. Same location. Right, this is Haran over here. You see this? So this is Haran over here. So they dwell there, you see? So let's look at this. And let's look at the new old map. You see, this is Paran. Borno is at top of it, and Paran is same place. Look at this, same locations, right? This is Borno up here, and then this is Paran. Okay, so Moses was about to send them what? It was stirring something up, and Moses, by the commandment of the Most High, sent them from the wilderness of Paran. All those men were head of the children of Jacob, right? And Moses sent them to spy out the land of Canaan and send them, get you up this way southward. Why are they going up south? My problem with these people is that why always up south? Why not up north? Why always up south? Get you up this way southward and go up onto the mountain. Why always up south? You says that, look at what this is. They says that north is up while south is down. But why is it that you always refer in the Bible up south? You know what you do. Look at this. In Genesis 13 verse 1, and Abraham went up out of Egypt, he and his wife, and all that he had, and Lot with him. into the south, always up south. Why is it not north south, always up south? These people knows what they are doing. Okay, so this is the migration, right? So let's look at this. Right, so this is where the 10 commandment was issued to them. Okay, in the 10th month, when the children of Jacob were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they unto the wilderness of Sinai. Right, verse 2. For they were departed from Rephidim, and we came to the desert of Sinai. That means Sinai is in desert, or Sinai is desert, and had pitched in the wilderness, and the children camp before the mountain. Right, so at the desert of Sinai. So when you look at this, when they left there, no any desert that is ahead of them. Remember, Moses was sending them up in the land of the Canaan. Right, so when you look at this, no any desert is ahead of them apart from this desert over here. Right, and Mount Sinai is the biggest mountain in all over the place, in all over the desert or the wilderness of that place. Right, Mount Sinai. Okay, so this is Namibia. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. The biggest mountain in Namibia. Brambach is also Mount Brand. Granitely massive and one of the highest mountains of Namibia. It lays in the north central Namib desert. It is highest peak and the country highest point, reached at elevation of more than 8,200 feet, 200 and 500 meters. Alright, so that desert is this Brambach mountain over here of south in Namibia. Right, let's look at this, the map. Right, let's take us to the map. Okay, this is the biggest mountain of the desert. You remember they were in Paran over here, right? They were going up. Remember, Moses was sending them up. So when they check the land is good. So this is when the children of Jacob are going to possess the land. Okay, the land flew with milk and honey. Alright, so the 10th commandment was issued to them at this mountain over here. Okay, let's read this. And Moses told them, and be ready against the third day for the third day the Most High will come down in the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai. And Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke, because the Most High descended upon it in fire, and the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of the furnace, and the whole mountain quaked greatly. So the mountain was altogether on smoke. Look at something. Look at this. Focus on this mountain very well. Does this mountain not look like something is being born on it? Look at this mountain. I live where mountains are, alright, and I have ever born a mountain, and I know how if I burn a mountain it looks like. For those that they haven't born mountain before, try and do this. This is how the mountain is going to be when you burn it. Yes, look at here. Here is not born, and this place is being born. This is where am I? Let me show you. This is where I'm going. Right? This is where I'm going. When you burn a mountain, this is how the mountain looks like. The Most High has kept evidence for us to see. This is mountain is being born. This is the mountain that the Most High issued the 10 commandments for them. They know this to come. They know this place. They know it. Alright? Remember, they are going to the south. You can check this mountain very well. This is the mountain.
There is a lot more that points back. There is a lot more that points to us that we are the chosen ones. We shouldn't lose heart. We shouldn't lose faith at all. All we needed to do is to be together, to untie those chains that are in our memories, in our brains, in our psychology. We need to untie those chains, rediscover ourselves, get to love ourselves the way we should. Because it is in our disunity, I keep saying this, they succeed in our disunity. And they want to keep pulling us apart so that we don't even know ourselves.